What's your favorite food? I could lie to myself and say it's chicken cordon bleu or beef Wellington or something, I don't know, respectable. But the truth is that, I don't think I like anything better than a fast food cheeseburger. Your favorite food says a lot about you. Mine, for instance, says I'm fucking garbage. But what of the great men who have ascended to the very top of the American shit heap? What of our vaunted presidents? Today, the favorite foods of every U.S. president will be deep fat fried.
Deep fat fried!
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get going. You got less than a minute per president. Let's go.
I know. We got to jump right into it.
You got like 40 seconds per president. Go.
Go.
Washington, what do you like? What do you like?
George Washington,
what do you like? TJ Jefferson, Maddison, multiple at once. TJ, look, more time. Go.
Shut the fuck up. I got to get into this.
He should be on Martin Van Buren by now, TJ. You fucking slipped already.
When he wasn't brutally crushing the Whiskey Rebellion or finding loopholes to allow him to hold on to his slaves, even in states where he was supposed to free them after a time. So he moved to a state where he had to free his slaves after 6 months. So what he would do is he'd make his states leave the state every 5 months and 29 days and then come back in to reset the clock. Wow. So anyway, evil piece of shit. Anyway, when he wasn't just engaged in that, George Washington loved to chow down on some hoe cakes and honey. Hoe cakes, by the way, they're basically just pancakes.
Yeah.
They just called them hoe cakes back then. Hoe cakes and honey. He loved to saturate them with butter. He was, he's a very
delicious,
like a rich.
It sounds like an all-American meal to me, TJ.
It is, yeah. So
that
John
guy
Adams
owns some slaves. TJ, is that what you're trying to say? You're trying to attack these people?
This pudgy guy next to him here. John Adams was fond of cheese, particularly from New England. He loved cheese alongside bacon,
he looks like
potatoes, and hard cider. That was his favorite food. He actually kept. He didn't live in the White House, so that wasn't quite ready yet during his presidency, but it was under construction.
Did you watch the John Adams miniseries, TJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think of him in that empty-ass White House in the middle of nowhere, so it kind of sucked to be him.
Yeah, but he did keep the presidential house of the time completely stocked up with that cheese, bacon, white potatoes, and cider. He was a creature of habit, so he pretty much ate the same sort of meal over and over again, and that was what he liked.
I'm sure I've heard he kept a private collection of Fromunda cheese as well.
Paul, I'm not falling for it. No one's falling for that shit. Thomas Jefferson, also a cheese lover. He liked a dish called Nuelle et macaroni, which is today would be called mac and cheese.
Smart guy.
Yeah, mac and cheese.
Yeah, you'd never fucking. I don't know. I didn't even know they had mac and cheese back then. I thought that was an invention of the 20th century. But no,
no way, dude. Come on, they have mac and cheese.
Come on, fucking idiot. All right, here's our first one where I'm kind of like, what the fuck? All right,
pickled
James
herring.
Maddison. Worse. James Maddison was a fan of a food item that has thankfully vanished from existence in the intervening time. At least I think it has. He loved his wife's homemade oyster ice cream, which is made fresh from oysters that she harvested from the Potomac.
That's fucking gross.
What?
Yeah.
No.
You don't like oyster ice cream, Scotty?
This guy's a fucking weirdo, dude. I don't know what the fuck he was into, but he's in some fucked up shit if that's his favorite dish.
I know, right? So then there was James Monroe, very similar name. He was into something called spoon bread, which was so sloppy you had to eat it with a spoon. It's basically cornbread, but it was so crumbly that it couldn't eat it.
I think it's like deep fried cornbread or whatever. Where you take it, it's like a hush puppy almost.
Oh, almost, but it has no ability to hold form. It just totally crumbles apart. So you have to sit there and eat it with a spoon. It was very popular in Virginia at the time. John Quincy Adams enjoyed eating fresh fruit so much that he planted fruit trees all over the White House grounds and actually lamented later in life, "I wish I had planted more fruit trees in my youth." Kind of a loser.
Okay. Well, I mean, he's that's pretty wholesome, honestly.
Andrew Jackson is the only one I felt like I needed to pull a picture of the food item because I had no idea what the fuck. But he was and he wasn't busy defying Supreme Court orders, and he was wasn't savagely murdering indigenous people and being a fascist sack of subhuman shit. He loved some nasty sounding shit called blancmange. Blancmange, which is basically like white food is the translation for that. So I did pull a picture of this shit. It's like this.
It's just pudding.
It's like
milk pudding.
Like made of almonds, water, milk, sugar, and gelatin. So it's like a Jello dish, basically.
Yeah, he liked Jello. What a fucking loser!
What? That was Andrew Jackson's favorite.
This weird white almond Jello, you know.
What the fuck is this?
It tastes like shit too.
It looks like it tastes like fucking total ass.
No, it doesn't look appealing at all. That was like a stock photo of it. So imagine what it looked like back in the day.
Yeah, imagine. It probably didn't look too appealing. So this is Martin Van Buren with his crazy
White
fucking hair. He was just a big fan of apples. He loved them. He didn't just, he wasn't just sitting there eating apples. He loved them in desserts. He liked them in pies. He liked them in cakes. He liked them in donuts. He liked them in pastries.
What a fucking chap. What an American right there.
Anything you could put an apple in, he was all about it.
Good. I mean, I don't run across shit with apples in it too often that I don't like. So
yeah. But he was all about it. And, you got to figure like back then, apples were like probably a lot, that
was probably
rare. Like there wasn't all this artificial sweetened shit. They didn't have Oreos and shit.
Oh
so,
my God, dude.
So this guy, William Henry Harrison right here, it looks like he's about to rape you. He does have a very rapey face, don't you think?
His nose is fucking immense.
It is. It's like it just goes on and on and on.
That's a common thing with presidents, dude. You have to have a big ass nose.
You gotta have a big nose to be.
You have a small nose. It's like you're not powerful enough, dude. Like look at that small nose. Like, ugh, no.
So he's one of the presidents who died in office, and he was a fan of fresh vegetables, particularly ones from his own garden, which apparently he bragged about his garden constantly. He's like, "Oh, my garden it grows the most splendid vegetables."
He sounds insufferable, dude.
Yeah, he was a prick. I'm glad he died. I mean, they all died, but he died in office.
Yeah, exactly.
So John Tyler here was said to eat a form of sugar pie so much that it became known as Tyler's pudding pie. Basically, just like a big mess of fucking congealed sugar in pie form.
Nice.
This guy is a legend, dude. Like,
well, you know what?
Dessert after him.
I'll tell you what, this motherfucker here, James K. Polk, if this guy is a legend for his pie, this motherfucker also had a pie as his favorite dessert, or his favorite food, rather. And I gotta say, James K. Polk's pie sounds fucking gross. His favorite dish was vinegar pie.
What?
It's like a
vinegar
savory
pie. Basically sounds fucking revolting.
No, I know. I don't want a pie is like a meat dish usually, but not.
Don't give me I don't want no fucking vinegar pie. All right.
Yeah, I bet it was delicious. It's just unfortunately named.
Maybe. I mean, I guess I'd give it a shot. So Zachary Taylor. By the way, of all the weird president names like Millard and shit, who we're gonna get to in a second, Zachary is like the most mind fucking name for a president to me. I just can't believe we had a president named Zach. Because I went to school with kids named Zach, and they were all fucking dipshits. But anyway, no offense to any Zachs out there that maybe aren't dipshits.
But fuck you.
What about Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell? He was
Zach Morris was a fuck. You ever watch that little Zach Morris's trash show on YouTube?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Pretty funny. Zach Morris is trash, and it just basically goes over all the reasons why he sucks.
He had no morals. He had no morals.
So Zachary Taylor. He loved cherries. Motherfucker loved a cherry, He even asked for them on his deathbed. And when they brought it to him, he stuffed his mouth with like insane amounts. He just fucking kept eating them because he was just like so eager to eat as many cherries as he could before he died. And I guess he did. And he ate a fucking copious amount and then he croaked.
That's a lame dessert. But that's a metal way to die. It's like, let me just die.
He's like, I just want as much of my favorite food as possible before I fucking leave this world. And he did.
Didn't care about anyone else. Didn't care for shit else. Just wanted to stuff his face with cherries.
Millard Fillmore, who I've pointed out a few times, looks remarkably like Alec Baldwin in the face. He's kind of the president we used to sort of. He left so little of an impression that you kind of you use his name as almost like the stand-in for like a boring president. And his food pretty much matches that conception. He likes stews and soups. He said, and he once said like he'd eat his soup and be like, quite nutritional and substantive, basically. Like he He didn't give a fuck about flavor. He had no sort of like concern with that. He's just like, this sustains me. Good. So kind of lame.
Stews can be pretty exciting.
They can be good, but like for your favorite food to be a fucking stew, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Franklin Pierce, he loved fried apple pies from his home state of New Hampshire. Could not get over that fried apple pie.
He looks way too like thin to be a dude that lusted after apple pie.
And he was. You know, he's one of those guys with that high metabolism. Actually, we have a fat president later who apparently was a very peckish eater, so we'll see. But maybe he was just lying. You never know with these motherfuckers. Can't trust these presidents after all.
Nor can you trust fatties. Fatties will...
James Buchanan here, who's kind of a fatty. Got a little bit of a chin there.
I wouldn't call him a fatty. Chin. He's a little chonky.
You got some chonk.
He's a chunk, dude. Not a
little chonk going on. He didn't really give a fuck what he ate as long as it was drowning in butter from Philadelphia. It had to be Philadelphia butter specifically. This guy actually had giant boxes of Philadelphia butter brought to the White House and locked brass kettles of it, just like brought into him. And in fact, he would sometimes there would sometimes be secret messages concealed in the butter and stuff, since that was already happening anyway. But yeah, he loved that fucking butter.
This guy's a fucking genius, dude.
He didn't just eat the butter, but like he wanted it on everything. Like he wanted everything he ate to be cooked with that butter. It was just, he was obsessed with that specific Philadelphia butter that I guess he had a taste for.
All right, so you have to have a big nose and have a really eccentric taste on food or take on food, because most of these guys have some of them banal, but it's like there's also creation like this guy is obsessed with this one kind of butter and like, I don't care what you feed me, as long as it's drowning in Philadelphia butter.
Well, remember that these guys are rich and they're used to getting what they want.
Well, of course, yeah.
So, when they got to move to the White House, they don't want to give up on the creature comforts they've grown used to in their home states. And, they can get it because they're the president. So Abraham Lincoln, great emancipator, obviously one of the most famous presidents, probably maybe even the most famous president. It's either him or Washington, right?
Yeah.
So as you can probably tell from his gaunt figure, he was not much of a glutton. He was not a heavy eater. He didn't eat very much. What he did eat was typically simple and rustic. He liked cornbread and corned beef and other staple foods of the time. But his favorite food was chicken fricassee, which is basically just chicken simmered in like a thick buttery sauce with some spices and stuff. Probably pretty decent tasting, I would imagine.
Not very exciting though. So,
but no,
he doesn't give a fuck about it.
He wasn't a foodie. He wasn't really that much into food. You could tell because he's a little scrawny man. Little scrawny, girly man. Oh, this guy, Andrew Johnson, right here. Andrew Johnson, he liked a dish called Hoppin' John.
It's pussy.
Hoppin' John, which of course is a slang for pussy.
Andrew Johnson ate nothing but pussy, dude.
All day, all night, munching on that fucking carpet.
You can tell, dude. Look at him.
I mean, like, you look in his eyes. He's looking at a pussy right now. And he's like, yes, I do declare I shall eat that pussy.
I mean, you see why he doesn't have a mustache? Like these other guys have beards. He's clean shaven for a reason, TJ.
You notice he's like everyone else here. He's in the company of men with beards and mustache. He's like, no. That will just get in the way of eating the pussy. But he ate a dish called Hoppin' John, which is basically just it's like a rice dish with black-eyed peas, ham, onion, peppers, celery, herbs, and spices. Basically a prototype to dirty rice.
It's like a side dish. It's not a meal.
It's not really a meal. It's more like a side. But I guess he ate it a lot. Ulysses S. Grant. He's a big fat guy. You can tell he's got that.
I don't know about like big fat guy, but he was plump. He's plump. Yeah.
He's plump. He's a little plump.
He's pleasantly plump.
So his favorite was he had his own recipe. And he made it constantly for this lemon-flavored rice pudding, which he ate both in the military and in the White House. It was pretty easy to make, and I guess he became pretty fond of it. Ate it throughout his life. Always liked it. It doesn't sound too bad. I don't know. I like lemon-flavored desserts.
Yeah, me too.
So I assume it was probably pretty good. Rutherford B. Hayes.
It's like he ate raccoon.
It does, doesn't it?
Boiled raccoon tail.
Now,
or something.
Rutherford B. Hayes, he was kind of known as being a prick. He was not a nice guy. He was known as being like very uptight and kind of a fucking jerk off.
I can tell.
And And you can kind of see it in the eyes, just like, there's not much give in there. And so every morning he was also a creature of habit. Every single morning he enjoyed 1 cup of coffee, no more, and a stack of cornmeal pancakes. And that was what he ate.
Oh.
James A. Garfield.
Yes.
You would hope that a president named Garfield would like some lasagna, right? That'd be the great thing, right? Like, yeah, Garfield. Oh, he loved lasagna.
Had they even invented lasagna yet? I don't even think
I don't know.
It was invented.
I don't know if some dude like
even
this
if it wasn't invented. Like, I noticed none of these guys really had like Italian favorites. I don't think the Italians had made much of an egress into America yet. But actually, this motherfucker has one of the weirdest ones. His favorite dish was squirrel soup.
Yeah. So he was the one that I should have said was eating raccoon. I would have been close.
Yeah, it was pretty close. So what happened with this guy is he had dysentery, and there was very few foods that he could eat because of that. And he had to stick to foods he knew he could handle. And not raccoon soup. Squirrel soup was one of those foods. And so even though he was the president of the United States, he was still eating squirrel soup, which is like, very peasant dish of the time. It's like not thought of as like, something
squirrels
fancy.
Not much meat on them. You got to kill a lot of squirrels to have a decent amount of meat.
But it was one of the few things he knew he could eat. It was his favorite of the foods the limited menu he was capable of eating without it affecting his dysentery. So that's what he ate.
You're supposed to eat squirrel with like gravy, like game meats like that, like rabbit gravy, lots and lots of gravy.
So you're not going to deny that this guy is chunk, right?
Yeah, he's fat.
He's fat as fuck, dude. Yeah. There better be some impressive shit.
He's
with
not the heaviest president, but you can see our heaviest president coming up here.
I know I'm anticipating that. Yeah,
we're all wondering what the fuck Taft was into, right?
Of course,
you gotta wonder about that.
I mean, you got to Grover Cleveland too. I mean, I know he's into a lot.
But I'll tell you this: you can actually guess this guy's favorite food just by looking at him.
Walrus.
Yep, that's right. Mutton chops was his favorite food. Not only is he sporting them on his face, but he sported it on his plate.
Well, there you go.
But this is the guy who, even though he's a fat guy, apparently was not a heavy eater, and it said that he actually would eat the same chop over 2 or 3 nights because he did not have a giant appetite. So I don't know, maybe a glandular problem, or maybe just lying son of a bitch.
He had a metabolism syndrome or something, if that's the case, because he's fat as fuck.
He was sneaking some shit, dude.
He
was doing some TJ and Paul shit, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's one of these guys that just didn't really want the meal, but then he would go and eat snacks all night or something.
Yeah, he was going to fucking James Garfield or whoever it was, his fucking Philadelphia butter and just eating it fistfuls, dude.
Grover Cleveland.
He's got a big sack of fat under his chin there.
Yeah, look at that. He probably has a nunt if we see him from the right angle.
Nice and fat, dude. Nice and fat.
And he ate pretty much exactly what you look at this guy and you pretty much know.
I think he just eats lard.
Something like this. What's that, Scotty?
He eats pure lard, dude.
No, he loved corned beef and cabbage.
Oh my god.
It's a very peasant dish of the time. In fact, he did not like his White House chefs because they were constantly trying to give him finer cuisine. And he one night he smelled some corned beef and cabbage cooking for one of the servants, and he's like, fuck that, I want that shit. And he said it was the best meal he had, and he said it was way better than anything his chefs were cooking up, and basically insulted his whole kitchen staff, hurting their feelings pretty badly, I'm sure. But yeah, that's what he liked. He liked fucking, down home, fucking stick to your ribs kind of shit. He wasn't into that fancy shit. Benjamin Harrison here, who looks kind of like the dude from Jurassic Park, but way more sour in the eyes. His favorite food is actually unknown. This is the one guy that couldn't really find much of a food preference thing.
I'm gonna guess the blood of children, dude. I don't know. He looks evil as fuck to me.
They said his family often held feasts for holidays where they liked to serve terrapin, which is basically turtle. So maybe he liked that. Unknown.
Okay. Already covered him.
Yeah, Grover Cleveland we already covered because he had non-consecutive terms.
Yeah, dude, he's going to be the only one that's on there twice with Trump here in a minute, dude. Watch.
Yeah, maybe. William McKinley, who we talked about a little earlier in a grease trap we shot today. It's a man who loved breakfast. He was a breakfast man, and he ate huge, gigantic breakfast. He was actually known so much for a particular dish that it became known as the McKinley omelet. But it's not really an omelet. It's more of a casserole. It's basically 4 eggs and milk, but it's thickened with copious amounts of cornstarch and baking powder, and then cooked in the oven until it's solidified and thick. And
Sounds
doesn't really sound all that
gross.
good to me, but yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
But dude, they said this dude fucking ate like insane amounts for breakfast. Like you're talking just like giant fucking table full of fucking food
And you know what?
every morning.
Look, he's ashamed of his nut too. He's got that collar popped up. Let the nut be free.
So Theodore Roosevelt looking pretty fucking good, my opinion. Theodore Roosevelt was also an eating man.
Fuck yeah.
He could eat a whole chicken in one sitting, which he did frequently. He preferred his chicken deep fried and drowning in gravy.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, fucking, this guy knows what's
around. He didn't, he would just basically though, from what I read, like he'd eat any goddamn thing. Like if you want to know what the real answer to what his favorite food was, it's whatever.
He's a fucking fat ass. Yeah,
but he loved fried chicken smothered in fucking white gravy. That was his shit. And now, William Howard Taft, the name that you've probably been waiting for, right?
Yep. Gotta know.
I mean,
This was America's heaviest president. What did he like to eat? You guys want to venture a guess on this one?
Ice cream.
Ice cream, says Paul. Scotty.
Dude, hot dogs. I'm saying this guy is just devouring hot dogs.
This guy, William Howard Taft, is the real life 3 filet Galen.
Oh,
shit.
This was a steak eaten man. And I don't mean he ate a steak every now and then. This motherfucker literally ate a 12-ounce steak with every single meal of the day.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And sometimes he would have 2 steaks for dinner. So this motherfucker would eat as many as 4 12-ounce steaks every fucking single day.
What a fucking genius, dude.
So this is the real life 3 filet Galen. You can't fucking deny it. And of course, he wasn't only eating steak. Like steak was just like a side dish for this motherfucker. There was other shit going on.
Bring me steak.
But the one staple was he always wanted steak. So he's a fucking super beefy.
Steak is pretty delicious. I mean, he probably didn't live a very long life because of it, but you know, hey, he lived it better than most.
Hey, he lived it to the fullest, you know.
Fuck yeah, dude. 4 steaks
Woodrow Wilson, this sickly, gaunt-looking motherfucker.
What, some disgusting rice pudding or some shit?
It's even worse. He ate the one meal he repeated every morning. I don't know if it was. It's thought that it's thought that he probably did this on doctor's recommendation because he was a sickly guy. But I don't know how. I don't even know how this would make you better. But every morning he would eat 2 raw eggs and a cup of grape juice. So gross.
No, it's horrible.
That's fucking disgusting. Warren G. Harding liked knockwurst and sauerkraut. He looks like a guy that likes that.
Yeah.
Calvin Coolidge here. He didn't eat too much. He wasn't like a meal guy. He was more like a snacker. He basically liked to eat little snack foods over the course of the day, like finger foods. His favorite of which was pickles, which he ate daily.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, he likes pickles.
That's pretty fucking lame, dude. I mean, I like pickles, but you know, I don't know. Not much nutritional value in pickles.
So Herbert Hoover was very fond of marshmallows cooked on top of sweet potatoes. He thought it was basically the height of deliciousness, so much so that he actually officially submitted his own recipe for it into the White House presidential archives, basically. Like, yeah, this is the ultimate recipe, guys. Marshmallows on a sweet potato. I don't know why you need a recipe for that. Seems like pretty fucking self-explanatory.
It's like drown the sweet potato in butter and marshmallow and sugar.
Yeah. Put butter on sweet potato. Put marshmallows on top of sweet potato. Cook sweet potato a little bit more with marshmallows on top to melt marshmallows. Done. It's not
that's
hard.
pretty tasty, though.
It is good.
I mean, it is, yeah.
They're good. No, I'm not denying they're good. It's just like, it would never be a food that I would like go to so regularly and be so obsessed with that I'd be like, oh, you got to try my recipe for that. But maybe there's something special about it and I just don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So FDR wasn't really known for his fancy tastes.
Which is weird because he's the first president to ever see color. You know what I mean? Like the first color president.
He was the first president of the color era, you know,
Yeah.
because before this, the world was in black and white. And then sometime around, between these two, the world became colorized. First in grainy color and then eventually, high def stuff. But and he wasn't known for his fancy taste. He was a big fan of hot dogs. He also liked grilled cheese sandwiches, scrambled eggs for breakfast. He liked fish chowder. Those are some of his favorite foods. Harry S. Truman, who just looks like a fucking accountant, doesn't he?
Yes.
But he actually has a pretty respectable choice, I think, for favorite food. His favorite food was his mama's fried chicken. His mama's specifically. Okay.
Well, yeah.
He liked his mama's fried chicken, which I think, Paul, you can relate to that. You got a taste palette that's kind of like mama based too. I think.
Well, yeah.
Right?
My favoriteest things are all mama based. So yeah.
Right, because your mom you got a mom that's an incredible cook, and apparently Harry S. Truman did too.
So you got a common link there.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of relatability there.
My mama made that best fried chicken bowl.
But obviously his mama wasn't with him for all 88 years of his life. And later on in life, he liked a good meatloaf, so long as it did not contain onions. Not an onion fan. Which I think is stupid.
I don't blame him, though, because onions and meatloaf, they always just hang out and become all crunchy and translucent in the meatloaf. Mm-hmm. And they're not incorporated well, so I feel him on that.
Yeah, I feel like they're there to break up that texture, though. Give it a little bit of a differentiation.
I want that. I don't want no differentiation. I just want that.
I want it all
pure meat, TJ.
Pure meat. So Dwight D. Eisenhower looks like he's the first one that really looks like he's hardcore, like judging me. But then Lyndon Johnson also looks like that. So,
well, Lyndon he was judging everybody.
Lyndon's judging everybody, just like fuck you. But Dwight D. Eisenhower, a bit of a downgrade from the previous, one. He was a fan of corn pudding. I mean, he ate so much corn pudding that they actually redubbed the item as President's Corn Pudding in the official White House menu when he was president.
I think you just know someone's lame as shit, dude. It was on a personal level.
What I love? Corn pudding.
Hey, guys, how about a couple corn puddings? It's like, no. No, thanks.
Well, before an assassin's bullet, or whatever you believe, ended his presidency, JFK was a fan of
pie.
It's not a bad guess.
Pecan pie.
Actually, Paul, I like the New England fish chowder.
Pecan pie.
Chowder?
Chowder. Give me the
that's
chowder.
what you would expect him to say, too.
Before his brains became Texas brain chowder, he loved the New England fish chowder.
I would like to order some chowder, please. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
he was actually not known for his large appetite, though. He would have chowder. He had the fish chowder every day with his lunch, but usually he didn't finish it. He was not a heavy eater. Lyndon B. Johnson, the guy that looks like he's judging you right now, pretty respectable, honestly. I gotta say, he was a big fan of Mexican food, which he liked extra spicy. He was apparently a heat head in general. Yeah. He loved. If you visited his ranch, he would give you his very own homemade deer sausage, which was pretty much universally described as being uncomfortably spicy.
Nice.
He loved spicy food. He loved to fucking make this deer sausage ultra dodeca fucking crazy spicy and then feed it to his unsuspecting guests who were like, which is pretty great. And then apparently look at them like this in judgment, like pussy.
Bitch ass motherfucker can't even eat my deer sausage.
I eat that shit breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Richard Nixon.
Pussy.
Paul, you did an episode on this guy.
Yeah.
Aside from pussy, though. Because pussy, we all eat pussy.
Look at that nose, dude. That's a nose that goes, it goes muff diving for sure.
Yeah.
So you would kind of hope that maybe Richard Nixon would at least eat like a human being, but
nah.
This is probably the grossest thing, in my opinion, on this whole fucking list. I'd rather eat the oyster ice cream with James Maddison than eat fucking cottage cheese and ketchup.
Gross.
What?
I mean, it's like, can you think of a more disgusting combination of fucking foods than cottage cheese?
This is what the aliens infiltrated us, dude. Let's just be honest.
Apparently, this motherfucker
cheese and ketchup.
Yeah, he loved for breakfast almost every morning. It says almost every morning. So I guess there were some exceptions, but almost every morning he would have a big bowl of fucking cottage cheese with ketchup mixed into it.
I just don't know how it's appealing.
It's fucking disgusting. And apparently he would have cottage cheese with almost every meal. He was obsessed with cottage cheese in general, which is just like, why? Like, of all the things you could be obsessed with, cottage cheese. Gerald Ford, pretty basic, liked pot roast and red cabbage. Pretty mundane dish for a pretty mundane.
I bet you his brother actually makes it for him too when he was alive.
So Jimmy Carter, kind of somewhat famously, kind of made it like a campaign issue almost. He's a grit eating man. He liked grits. This is down home. I eat grits. So
dude, nobody has grits as their favorite food.
I know.
Nobody.
It's
bullshit, dude.
He's like, I'm a grit eating man. It's like, whatever.
He was
the best thing you can do to grits.
Food.
Is add cheese.
He was just trying to get over in the South, and so yeah.
Well, he ate grits till the day he died, or well, he's still alive at 97. But this episode's going to come out a few weeks from now. He'll probably be dead by then, right?
Probably.
So, there's a fair shot.
TJ, what did Reagan eat? TJ,
ass.
This one is actually famous. So you should probably know this. Yeah, ass.
No, I know this one. Reagan loved jelly beans.
That's right. Reagan was a big fan of jelly beans because he was trying to quit smoking. And he needed to find something else to have that oral fixation. And jelly beans is what he chose. And so he pretty much always had jelly beans on hand. He would eat them pretty much throughout the day. Every time he felt that fucking... urge going on.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gorbachev. Can I offer you some jelly beans?
Would you like a jelly bean? Jelly bean?
Da! Whoa, good jelly bean.
George H.W. Bush, the original Bush, was very keen on pork rinds slathered in Tabasco. Would just sit there on the couch and watch TV and eat pork rinds slathered in Tabasco.
That's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah. I mean, I'll eat a pork rind and shit. I don't even think the Tabasco on it's like that bad of an idea, but for that to be your favorite fucking food, I mean, I don't know.
It's like a snack food.
Yeah.
Oh no,
but some people are snackers though. So Bill Clinton was notoriously had a poor diet as president. He ate a lot of fucking fast food, ate a lot of fucking, unhealthy stuff, but his favorite thing apparently. What's that, Scotty?
That's a lot of barbecue, dude.
Yeah. I mean, he was like his favorite thing, though, apparently, and he actually made several impromptu visits to McDonald's with the Secret Service to get the Egg McMuffin, which was his favorite fucking item on the McDonald's menu. They would just make just pop on that McDonald's right there, give me an Egg McMuffin.
Oh, dude, I fucking love it, dude.
The Secret Service has to go into the McDonald's, secure the perimeter, make sure there's no fucking threats anywhere, and then, all right, the president's going into McDonald's. Yeah, I'd like that Egg McMuffin, please.
How many? I better make it 10. Gotta feed these
literally would make the Secret Service just impromptu do sweeps of the McDonald's so you could stop for an Egg McMuffin, He loved Egg McMuffin.
I mean, if you're president, why the fuck? I mean, dude, that's why people love Bill. He did a lot of fucked up things, but you know what? That was a smart thing he did.
So when he wasn't smoking out the evildoers.
I remember this one. This one was well documented. Yeah, he liked the charred, half-cooked, blown-off feet of Iraqi children.
A delicacy.
He would sit on his couch and gnaw on their toes and suck all the meat off of their toes. Yeah,
man, it's good. I love the blood of the innocent. It's beautiful. Well, when he wasn't doing that though, he liked to eat cheeseburger pizza.
Gross. See, those are two things that should never be mixed. What a fucking Philistine, bro.
So basically it was beef, bacon, tomatoes, cheese, pickles, ketchup, and mustard atop a simple margarita pizza, which the White House kitchen had all that shit ready on standby at any time because he apparently ate it quite a bit.
So you ruined a margarita pizza is what you're telling me. Thanks.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So Barack Hussein Obama.
Fried chicken and watermelon.
All right, Paul.
I'm sorry.
Hope you guys have enjoyed the final episode of Deep Fat Friday. So Barack Obama actually tried to be a good role model to kids. He tried to fucking put it out there that his favorite food was broccoli.
Bullshit. Fuck off, Obama. Come on.
But those close to him did call bullshit. They said, his favorite food is a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Not like me. He wasn't a piece of shit like me that ate those fucking fast food cheeseburgers. Barack Obama liked a good, high quality fucking gourmet cheeseburger with like some fancy cheese and some top quality beef and stuff like that. So
he's that guy that's gonna go like to the expensive steakhouse and order the burger.
Right. He's that motherfucker. Right. Which I've done before too.
Sure, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, but yeah.
But he's that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Donald J. Trump. Not going to shock you
McDonald's,
to learn
right?
Yeah, it was
food.
McDonald's. He loves fast food. He claims it's because they can't, because it's all pre-made. They can't, taint it or whatever, which I don't know.
That's just such bullshit, bro.
You're just a fat fuck, okay? You're just a fat fucking American that likes slop like the rest of us. Quit lying. So
Yeah, the slop tastes good. Whatever.
what is do you guys know Donald Trump's typical McDonald's order?
Didn't he get like 4 cheeseburgers or
And a
whatever?
Diet Coke or something.
Yeah.
Well, his typical McDonald's order is 2 Big Macs and a Filet-O-Fish sandwich with no fries and a Diet Coke, which is his favorite meal.
2 whole ass Big Macs, man.
Yeah, he ate
Fuck,
2
dude.
Big Macs and a Filet-O-Fish.
That's
He
pretty
don't play
crazy.
around, dude. He's getting his fucking fill.
Yeah, I mean, that's how many fucking calories is that? That's a lot of fucking calories.
If I around 2,000, I'm guessing.
But he got a Diet Coke, so I guess it's okay. And then finally, Joe Biden, who his food preference is pretty famous as well.
Yeah. Ice
Dude is
cream.
fucking infatuated with ice cream.
Yeah,
right?
he likes to lick the cone.
His favorite kind of ice cream is basically just vanilla with chocolate chips in it. Pretty boring fucking ice cream flavor, in my
course.
opinion. I mean, like, I would never, of all the ice cream options available, I would never be like, give me fucking vanilla with chocolate chips in it. Like, that's just so fucking dull.
There's too much in it. My favorite is just vanilla. Just give me the
Like,
vanilla.
just plain Jane vanilla. Honestly, somehow vanilla is less vanilla than vanilla with chocolate chips.
Vanilla
in it.
has a good flavor to it. I mean,
because then you can just kind of enjoy that vanilla. But with those chocolate chips, like they're they don't even taste like chocolate. They just taste like little nothing pockets in ice cream. Because I feel like the coldness takes the chocolatey flavor out of the chocolate chips.
It does.
See, that's how you know Joe Biden sucks, dude. He really wants to make the bland and offensive choice, but he's like, well, I can't just say vanilla. Vanilla with some, chocolate chips on it or something.
But he also
Own
likes
your blandness.
If you want to know what else Joe Biden might eat, he's fond of Italian food. He likes particularly any dish with a heavy emphasis on red sauce, which apparently he's quite fond of. But it gives him heartburn, so he doesn't eat too much. But that's like what he likes from a pure taste perspective.
I can feel
I thought
that.
Joe Biden getting heartburn, dude. He needs more heartburn.
I do prefer a red sauce to like the creamy Alfredo sauce.
Yeah, he likes the red sauce Italian dishes like spaghetti, marinara fucking shit, or maybe like a spaghetti meatball, or fucking spaghetti bolognese, or like a lasagna or something like that. But mostly just eats ice cream because he's a fucking ice cream eating weirdo. Also likes to sniff the heads of little girls.
It's soft on your
women.
teeth, TJ. Soft.
That's his smell preference. Maybe we'll do smell preferences of the presidents next time. But that pretty much gets us through it. Managed to get through with not too bad of a fucking runtime.
You dithered
for 46 fucking people.
You dillied and you dallied, TJ.
I'm sorry. I try to get through it as fast as possible. But I think
TJ.
Let me just ask you to summarize this. Who had the worst? I think it's fucking Nixon. I think ketchup
you
and
can't
cottage
beat that,
cheese
dude.
were-
Cottage cheese and ketchup is the grossest thing on this list by a country mile.
And I think the best was Theodore Roosevelt's fucking fried chicken and gravy.
I like Barack Obama's, man. I like the unassuming nature of just being the first president to admit I like a fucking cheeseburger, man.
But he didn't admit. He tried to lie and say like broccoli.
Dude, it's gonna either be Taft or Bill Clinton, dude.
Taft, I feel like that's too much steak. I'd feel so fucking sick after
but
eating
you know
that
what?
much steak in a day.
That's
But
excessive.
he's a
But Bill
manly
Clinton,
guy,
dude,
though.
the Egg McMuffin is not only my favorite, it's just the fact he would shut down a whole fucking McDonald's just to get his fix, dude.
That is pretty cool.
That's a thing of beauty right there.
And that's the president's food preferences. Hope you learned something about the great men that have ascended to the top of the throne of America. Bye.